Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be showing you how to do single crochets for complete beginners. This is part 2 to my Crochet for Absolute Beginner series. If you haven't already, please watch part 1, which shows how to make chains, which is something you will need to do in order to follow this video correctly. And the link to that video is in the description below. Anyways, let's get straight into the video. So for this video, I'm going to be using 4mm red acrylic yarn and a 4mm crochet hook. So we're just going to start off with a slip knot, and I'm going to make 10 chains. Now for this, you can make any amount of chains that you want. You can make 5, 10, 20, it doesn't matter, as long as you have basically more than like 3 or 4 chains. So here are my 10 chains, and we are now ready to start single crocheting. So right now I'm just going to show you where to place your hook when you're single crocheting. So after making X amount of chains, you're supposed to put your hook into the second chain. And this is the second chain. And this is exactly where you want to put your hook in. So when you're putting your hook in, you want to place it on the loop on the left, not in both loops. So if we now just use a hook to show this, you can see how I am skipping the first chain and I am placing the hook in the left loop of the second chain. And this is you basically showing, okay, I am putting the stitch in right over here. So you're now just going to yarn over and you're going to pull the hook through the chain you just put it in. And you should now have 2 loops on your hook. So we're just going to yarn over one more time and pull that yarn through both of the loops at the same time. And that is your first single crochet finished. And this is how it should look like up close. You might notice a hole right over here, and don't worry, this isn't you doing something wrong. This is basically the left loop of the chain of where you put the hook in, and the hole is only that big because you just kind of stretched it out by placing a single crochet there. And this hole will disappear the second you make another single crochet. So now we're going to make our second single crochet, and this time we place the hook into the very next chain. So from now on, we're not skipping a chain just like we did the very first time. From now on, we are placing it into the very next chain. So over here where I'm putting the needle in, this is the next chain. And just like the first time, we are going to put a hook into the left loop of this chain. So right now, I'm just doing the second single crochet. As you can see, I'm placing the hook into the next chain. You yarn over, pull through the chain, yarn over again, and pull through both loops. And that is your second single crochet finished. Now I'm just going to show you where you would put the hook in for your next single crochet. So this is the next chain that you should be putting your hook in. And again, we are putting it into the left loop of the chain. So I'm just going to make my third single crochet, and I will be doing the exact same thing as I did the past 2 single crochets. So that is our third single crochet finished, and I'll just be showing you how to count your single crochet stitches. So here are our 3 single crochets, and you count them the exact same way as you would if it was a chain. So here's our first, here's our second, and here's our third. And as you can see, they have the exact same braid-like look as chains have right over here. However, unlike when single crocheting into chains, when you single crochet on top of single crochets, you're going to place your hook under both loops of the single crochet, not just on the left side like you would on a chain. And when you're placing it under, don't just stab it anywhere into the project. Instead, place the hook directly under both of the top two loops, just like this. So now I'm just going to make single crochets until the end of the chains. So I just made my last single crochet, and this is how it should look like at the end. So now we're just going to count them. So this is the first one, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and the last one, the ninth. So now we are going to start our second row of single crochets. So to start our second row, we are going to chain one. We are now going to turn our piece around so that we are again going to crochet from right to left. So now this is a very common mistake that beginners make. So right after making the turning chain that you just made, which was the chain one, a lot of beginners confuse this for being a stitch and place their hook right over here and continue their row with single crochets, and this usually leads to very uneven edges, as making a single crochet here would be adding an unnecessary stitch to the row. As you can see over here, if you turn your piece sideways, you can see that the chain you just made right over here sticks out from the rest of the piece. So do not make your next single crochet in the chain, as this chain is called a turning chain and is placed there only to add extra height to the row. So if I were to start my next row of single crochets, I would skip this chain right over here and place my hook on top of the first stitch. But remember that this time we are placing the hook under both of the loops. And that is your first single crochet done for this row. So if you look closely, this is how your piece should look like right now. And you are free to carry on making single crochets till the end of the row. If you are still unsure on where to place the hook, I'm just going to place my hook into this very next stitch and place the hook under both loops and carry on making my single crochet. Now I will just continue the second row. Now I only have one single crochet left, and I will make a single crochet right in this stitch over here. Now I have just completed 2 rows of single crochets. And if you were to carry on making these rows, no matter how many there are, you would follow the exact same steps, which is chaining 1, turning the work around, not single crocheting into the chain you just made, and instead single crochet on top of the first stitch. And you can carry on making as many rows as you want with this, as the same formula is used most of the time. So this is the very end of this part 2 video on how to make single crochet in my Crochet for Absolute Beginner series. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and if you haven't already, check out my part 1 video to this series and follow my Instagram and TikTok that is linked in the description below.